And we have to reinforce our resilience against a new virus possibly, or other risks which we have on the global agenda. We also have to address urgently the issue of climate change and all the other issues related to the preservation of nature.
Yes, welcome back. Just within the space of 2 weeks, you all saw a clip I did about Bill Gates in Australia sounding the alarm of a new pandemic. World Organization recently sounded the same alarm. Now the US is coming out with this. Vax mandate could be back for chickens. US will test first avian flu shot on poultry in years to counter record outbreak. According to this article published by Daily Mail, US health officials are gearing up to test a vaccine for poultry to combat the worst bird flu crisis on record, which is raising fears about human spillover. The Department of Agriculture is involved in developing an updated shot and hope to start trailing it soon, though it has not offered a timeline. The actual testing process, once it begins, will take at least 3 months. While animal vaccines can take years to be licensed, part of the process can be accelerated in emergency cases. Concerns about the avian flu strain currently circulating have risen in recent weeks after it became evident that it spread from birds to several mammals, including otters and foxes. Before I proceed with this article, I will play this clip from the World Organization so you can see exactly what is going on. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. If possible, why not share this clip?
Over the past few weeks, there have been several reports of mammals, including minks, otters, foxes, and sea lions, having been infected with H5N1 avian influenza. H5N1 has spread widely in wild birds and poultry for 25 years, but the recent spillover to mammals needs to be monitored closely. For the moment, WHO assesses the risk to humans as low. Since H5N1 first emerged in 1996, we have only seen rare and non-sustained transmission of H5N1 to and between humans. But we cannot assume that will remain the case, and we must prepare for any change in the status quo. As always, people are advised not to touch or collect dead or sick wild animals, but to report them to the local authorities. WHO is working with national authorities and partners to monitor the situation closely and to study cases of H5N1 infection in humans when they occur. WHO's Global Laboratory Network, the Global Influenza Surveillance and Response System, identifies and monitors strains of circulating influenza viruses and provides advice to countries on their risk to human health and available treatment or control measures. WHO recommends countries strengthen surveillance in settings where humans and farmed or wild animals interact. WHO is also continuing to engage with manufacturers to make sure that, if needed, supplies of vaccines and antivirals would be available for global use.
Yes, when you take a look at what is going on, when the sounds alarm, something will happen. Avian flu has been something I know in the past, especially in African countries. This has never been an issue. It's surfacing in such a way that they will sound the alarm and immediately they will bring the solution. Now, our animals need to take the vax. People have been taking the vax recently. So animals are now equivalent, to take these. I really wonder what is going on. Don't forget this, these animals are being eaten by humans. And when an animal consumes something, you are indirectly consuming the thing. I'm not insinuating something. You can reason that out alone. I want to read out this article so you can understand exactly what is going on. Spackman, a virologist who studied avian influenza vax at USDA, told CBS there are a lot of moving parts to be this kind of testing, and some of it is just pure logistic of getting everything in place to do the testing, getting the values that are updated, getting things from parties that are involved, different manufacturers. Why it is not always a requirement for animal shots to be licensed by the USAID, the trials will be offer early independent evaluations of how where a vax work in this case. USDA spokesperson Mike Stefan told CBS News the decision to process with vax is complex and many factors must be considered before implementing a vax strategy. Yes, the USDA did not disclose details about the shot it will use in testing, though there are a few in development. And at the Preberg Institute in the UK, scientists are developing an improved shot that involves tagging flu viral proteins with a marker that makes them easier for antigen presenting cells to capture. These generate faster and stronger immune response to the bird flu strain compared to the inactive viral. That is the current standard. Scientists at the University of Wisconsin School of Veterinary Medicine, for example, are working on avian flu vac that uses tiny particles, even similar than the width of a human hair, to deliver immunity by sending pathogen-like signals to cells. If an updated shot that will open the door to USDA approval, followed by a thorough vax campaign that seeks to reach the effective commercial poultry industry. While shots for the purpose of finding of avian flu have been used in the past, the USDA has not approved one of what is considered highly pathogenic influenza.
WHO recommends countries strengthen surveillance in settings where humans and farmed or wild animals interact. WHO is also continuing to engage with manufacturers to make sure that, if needed, supplies of vaccines and antivirals would be available for global use.